Rev up your engines!
Well, GM's at it again with lack of quality. They're recalling over 449,000 pickups and SUVs in the United States because you might not get a low brake fluid warning. They used to be real simple systems. When your brake fluid got low, there was a float in the master cylinder. And when the float got to a certain level low, it would warn you that you're losing fluid. Pretty simple system. Little switch, right? No, but now it's all computerized. So what's wrong with these new GMs are the electronic brake control module software may fail to display a warning light when the loss of brake fluid occurs. So you lose the fluid, instead of having a simple little float that turns the light on, now it goes through computers and they don't warn you that you're low on brake fluid. Too much technology. You don't want to reinvent the wheel every time, right? If the software guys had their way, we'd have different wheels every day. Oh, look, I got a better design for a wheel than this round thing, hey, huh? And of course, what is GM saying? We'll fix it with a software update. Whether that'll fix it or not, no one knows yet, but they went from a simple little floating magnetic switch that, okay, now you're low on brake fluid, to computer stuff that doesn't work right. That just says it all for GM. Well, Tesla's in dire straits. They just slashed their full self-driving price to $4,500 so they can clear their inventory. Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't give them $45 for the stupid thing. Now, the usual price of it was $15,000. Now, that's what I think you should buy a whole car for, not some software. And of course, the whole thing is kind of a joke because it's called full self-driving. Legally, it is not. There are 4 stages of self-driving. Number 4 being actual full self-driving. His is more like a 2. I don't know. I guess some people were suing about it. There's no news about whether they won or not. And here's how weird it is. In the beginning of 2019, it was $3,000. Then it went up to $6,000. And then up to $7,000. And then 2020, it went up to $8,000. Then 2020 again, it went up to 10. Then 2022, it went up to 12. And 2022 again, it went up to $15,000. Okay? Now it's down to $4,500. Well, I don't think it's worth anything myself. Now, the problem is, he's got so many unsold cars, he doesn't know what to do with them. Now, there is no inventory of the full self-driving. It's just software, right? And talk about a greedy scumbag. Even $4,500 is a lot of money for some stupid software for a car that you already paid a whole bunch of money for. What all Elon's going to find out, if he hasn't figured it out yet, is even what GM found out a short time ago. When years ago GM said, we're going to be the software company of the world. We're going to make billions leasing software to people. Guess what? They tried it and the people said, we're not even going to buy your cars now because we paid all this money for a car and we don't get the software that it comes with. You can go to Hades, we'll buy somebody else's car. Americans aren't into that. The average price of a new car is $45,600. We pay that kind of money. We expect to get everything that's in the car, not have to pay extra. Well, Russian-backed troops are getting Musk's Cybertrucks. Turns out these Chechens, they have a couple Cybertrucks they put machine guns and a turret on, right? Chechen President Ramzan Kadyrov claimed that he modified 2 Cybertrucks, and he's running around them, right? Well, I wouldn't worry about them. They'd probably be real easy to knock out. What? Elon threw ball bearings at the windows and it broke them. They're not bulletproof, so I wouldn't think they'd be such great vehicles, right? Hilariously enough, he said that Elon Musk gave him the Cybertrucks. Elon is now denying the whole thing, and the latest news flash is the Tesla Cybertruck with a turret on it was disabled by Elon Musk, says the Chechen warlord. So I guess he shouldn't have bragged about Elon Musk giving him one free, which Elon claims he never did, because now Elon has turned it off. They are all controlled by the great Elon Musk cyber computers, and they can turn those things off if they want to. That's part of these electric cars. They can control them. So he should have kept his mouth shut, used it, not told anybody, but he had to open his big mouth. And now it looks like Elon and his company has shut down the warlord's Cybertruck. Well, at least they shut it down before it broke. The guy should have kept his big mouth shut instead of bragging about it on the internet. Elon shut it down. You know, I mean, he's got those Starlink things all over the place, so he can access any of these things, turn them off if he wants. Now, I've seen this before, and I wonder what's going on in these people's head. A man in Fall River, Massachusetts, was caught and charged for slashing tires on 56 vehicles. I guess they got cameras from people's houses showing the guy slashing tires. Now, what does this guy have against tires? Police responded 6:15 a.m. for a report of tire slashing on Mulberry Street and Division Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. Police said 56 vehicles had their tires slashed, and video surveillance saw this guy slashing the tires. The police identified him as 40-year-old Lidueno Tavares, right? But here's the hilarious thing. He was connected to another series of tire slashings in the past. He is a serial tire slasher. Now, what I don't get is, why is this guy doing this? Does he have something against cars, car tires? What is going on in this man's head? He has some kind of a phobia about tires or something? Maybe he was hit by a car when he was young. I don't know. But I've seen this in various places. I saw it in Houston, too. Some of these nutty people just go around and they either scratch people's paint, walking down the street, or slash their tires. You kind of wonder what's going on in their head, you know? And it wasn't like, okay, they hate rich people, so they do the Mercedes and BMWs and Audis, right? No, this guy was slashing everybody's tires. I'd love to know what's going on in this guy's head, you know? And he's a serial one. He was caught before, and now he's at it again. They'll have to give him one of those bans. You can't get within 100 yards of any car tires, or we'll have to arrest you. Well, everybody knows there's a lot of con men in New Jersey. Well, here's the new con for the highway. Federal authorities are now warning people that have easy passes in New Jersey and also in Pennsylvania. Turns out that you may get a text that says, hey, you know, you owe us money. You can send us money. And then you give your information to them, and they steal your money because it is not the New Jersey Turnpike that's sending you to that. It's some scammer. What happens is customers receive text messages claiming to be sent by Easy Pass toll services that sends them to a link to pay an outstanding bill to avoid a late fee. The feds are warning you it's fraudulent. And of course, if you get a suspicious text message and it tells you don't even respond to it, just ban the people. Don't open anything up. Definitely don't go to any websites. And if they give you any of those QR codes, do not scan the QR code either. The feds have gotten thousands of complaints of these people getting ripped off like this. You got to watch what you respond to on your phone. You know, you don't understand where's something coming from. Just ban them forever. Don't open the stupid thing up, especially if it says, hey, Joe, I owe you $1,000, or hey, you just won $1 million, or blah, 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 blah. Don't think that they're going to send you a text that says, hey, pay us now or we're going to come get you. It doesn't work that way. The government can't do that kind of stuff to you. They will send you letters and stuff, but they're not going to start sending you texts. Well, here's some traveling news for you. Motel 6 has now been sold to Oyo, an Indian hotel giant, as in the country India. They're ramping up their stuff in the U.S. now. They're paying $525 million. They're getting 1,500 motels, which comes out to $350,000 per motel. Sounds like the Indians are getting a pretty good deal. That's not all that much money. But I have one big question. Are the people who own this company the Patels? Because I've been all over the country, as have many other people, and they find that many of the motels across the United States are owned by people with the last name of Patel. They seem to be the Indian hotel magnates. I want to know, is this oil company run by Patels? Patels, they'll buy a really run-down place. They have lowest rents in town. They didn't pay much for it. They've been doing that for decades. I mean, I've found them everywhere, the Midwest, the North, the South. So what I really want to know is the oil company of India run by Patels? Somebody, if you can find that answer, tell me. I'd love to know. Are the Patels now the owners of Motel 6? And if you didn't know, a little trivia here. You know why motel is called Motel 6? Because originally the rooms were $6 a piece. Well, they're not $6 a piece anymore. Well, here's some traveling news to warn you. Don't bring your internet with you on Carnival Cruise Line. A guy was on a Carnival Cruise Line, and they confiscated his Starlink Mini. And they adjusted their banned list to include their Starlink Mini. Because, of course, you know, they want to sell you everything on a cruise line. They give you these low budget prices, and then they charge you for everything. I'm surprised they don't charge you for the air you breathe, right? Can't bring your own booze on. Now you can't even bring your own internet. Well, this guy brought his internet because he wanted to do his podcasts and stuff while he was in the ocean going to Hawaii. He needed the speed. Now, it wasn't cheap for him because the Starlink Mini costs almost $600, $599 to buy, and $250 a month to use it over the ocean. They got you by the short and crows. If you're on land or something, it's cheaper. cheaper. But you're on the ocean. They know they're the only game in town, so that's what they charge per month. But he found he was in the middle of the ocean. At least he got 123 megabytes. Not too bad. Not the greatest. I have like 1,000 here, right? The premium one that the Carnival Cruise Line did was only 4 megabytes a second. At the same place, so obviously it's much better. And of course they rip you off, because if you want the premium one, their premium Wi-Fi is $21.25 per person per day. What a total rip-off. So if you're going to go on a Carnival Cruise Line, be forewarned, you can't bring your Starlink Mini or other devices. You have to pay them for a stinking slow internet at almost $22 a day. And all those companies are such rip-offs. This is enough to make you throw up. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.